All right, in our previous video, we had looked at the actual step one to consider for movement and activity, which is duration, protecting that 150 minutes of time. While you're doing that, and once you even have 10 minutes in a week, our next step is to look at the categories of movement. And the way we want to think about the categories of movement are what parts of our body are involved in helping us move. So, the main aspects of our body that help us move is number one, our cardiovascular system. This includes the heart, this includes all the blood vessels, including the arteries and the veins that go throughout the body to get blood to all of these places, to get nutrients to all of these places, including that energy form. The second major part of our body that is involved in movement is the muscles. In order to be able to move, you have to be able to contract and release the muscles in the body. And the third major category that we have to think about is the nervous system. The nervous system is what is involved in number one, what we call the vestibular aspect. This is related to coordination, being able to move your arm and leg in different motions, but being able to stay upright and avoid things like falls. Or dizziness while you're moving. The nervous system is also extremely important for things like balance and very important for sending communication related to breathing and keeping all of the blood flowing throughout the body while you're actively doing some type of movement. So when we talk about the categories, now once you've had that time set out for you during the week, try to split up the time as best as possible to include all of these categories at least a few times per week. So, for example, cardiovascular movement would be full body movements. This could be walking, hiking, gardening, things like swimming, for example, or even using the bicycle. All of these movements are using the entire body. The second large aspect would be muscle training, or what many times trainers would call resistance training. Now, frequently, people think that resistance training requires you to go to a gym or have to have some type of weights, but you can always use your own body weight to help you with this. One example is when we look at our arms. We could be doing something like taking a grocery bag and lifting it 12 times to get the same reps that you would with a dumbbell. On the other hand, if you're looking at your abdomen and your lower back, that category could be achieved while watching television and doing crunches and sit-ups or a plank position. Likewise, with your legs, if you're talking about brushing your teeth every day, we'll start doing some squats while you're there. Or in that dedicated 150 minutes that you've got per week, try to dedicate at least one time, either 10 minutes or one part of the time that you're working out towards activating one of these four major muscle groups: head and neck, arms, abdomen and back, and legs. With the nervous system, the beautiful thing about it is if you're doing activities that directly act on the nervous system, this could be things like breathing, or what we'd call pranayama breathing, or it could be things like yoga and tai chi. If you're doing movements directed towards the nervous system, chances are you are activating your resistance training, large muscle groups, and your full body and cardiovascular system. And likewise, if you are doing activities that involve the full body as well as the large muscle groups, then likely you're activating your nervous system. If you'd like to, the best case scenario is having a little bit of time dedicated every week for cardiovascular movement, resistance training at least 2